Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to a tutorial for this look right here. So this is my less wearable, but still wearable, I think. It depends on your style and taste. New Year's Eve party makeup. So got some glitter going on, got this lovely cut crease, big wing, intense makeup that, well, I would wear this anyway because I'm weird, but you know, it's great party makeup, great chance to play and experiment. You could do any color combination you wanted here. I went for black and blue with some really pretty glitter. You can see that. I don't know why I'm blabbing on about it. This is already, I know, going to be a very long video. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this look, how maybe you could get this look if it appeals to you, then keep on watching. And I hope you have a wonderful and safe New Year celebration. And I will see you in 2016. So, as hopefully you would have seen, because I am planning on shooting a little intro with my face all done first, I am not feeling well at all today. I have a pretty bad headache and I'm catching a cold and I just feel gross and awful. But I really wanted to shoot this video, so I'm going to do it anyway, and I can sit and it's fine. But if I sound a little funky or, you know, if I seem a little off, that's why. But without further ado, let's dive on in. So I want to start priming my eyes with my Wet n Wild Fergie primer. I'm a little upset about this. Whoop! This cold situation. I have several times through the year felt a cold coming on, and I've been able to kind of halt it. I have a lot of yoga moves and breathing and stuff that seem to help, but this time it didn't work. So today I am shooting this video and then I'm making myself a little nest on the couch, and I'm going to edit and just take it as easy as possible so that this can kind of work itself through and I can get on with my life. So I definitely want to go pretty nuts on the eyes. So I'm going to start with my brows to give myself that nice frame. All right, so I'm using my Essence pencil, brushing the hairs into place, and then using very light, short strokes. Sorry, couldn't help it. All right, so my thought is doing a cut crease, which I'm terrible at, but I want to practice because I think it looks really cool. Maybe not the most wearable thing on a day-to-day basis, but I like it. So we're going to play with that. Now I'm going to start with a gel or cream. I think this says gel cream. Liner. This is from Physicians Formula. And this is a Real Techniques fine liner brush. So I'm going to start creating a wing. This is all a great big experiment. I have actually filmed this video a couple times and I haven't really been happy with the looks I've come up with. They've been almost but not quite right, you know what I mean? So hopefully this one will work because tomorrow's New Year's Eve. But I think I've learned a little something from each attempt, which, you know, it's always good. All right, now this does not have to be perfect, clearly, because we're going to keep adding on. All right, I'm going to go right into the wing. All right, so I'm going to let that sit for a moment. I'm going to take a Real Techniques base shadow brush and just a matte kind of flesh toned eyeshadow using the Urban Decay, I wish, NYX Underneath It All palette. And I'm just going to swipe that over the brow bone just so the shadows we use blend easier. Okay, so now for the challenging, at least to me, part. Now, I never turn down an excuse to use blue eyeshadow, so I think I'm going to use blues. You could use any color you wanted to, but I'm going to go in with the Blue Had Me at Hello palette from Wet n Wild, because there are some just really amazing colors in here. On a shading brush, I'm going to go in with this top brow bone shade, so it's a very pale kind of minty color. You could use a pale blue or even a pale white, which are both in here as well, but I just like that brow bone color. And I'm going to very lightly kind of follow the shape I want, which is just kind of going above the crease and then in line with that wing. Again, this is just going to be a nice kind of transition blending color. Now again, depending on your eye shape, you may have to adjust this to suit. I mean, even this side has much more lid showing. This side doesn't have any, and this side does, so I'm going to have to even that out later. But if you do not have hooded or droopy eyelids, you might have some more lid space, and I'll give some options for you to play with there, but you could bring that pale color all the way down and maybe layer it up a little bit more. We'll talk about that in a minute, but just so you know, if you are following along, God bless you is all I can say. You might notice that you have, some naked space, which we'll address later on. So now into the fun part. So I'm taking a small angled brush. This is the Real Techniques eyeliner brush. I'm going to go into one of these. Let's see, which one do I want to use? I'm going to go in, great big experiment, guys, with this Crease shade. So both of these are very similar colors. This one, which I'm drawn to, is much more pigmented, and a little darker, a little sparklier. So I'm actually going to go into the less pigmented one so I can trace this out a little easier. So this is just a dark blue. Again, you can use any color you want, any brand, you want. It doesn't have to be Wet n Wild. I haven't heard anything about that palette. You'd think I'd just Google it, but I don't. All right. We ready? I'm actually going to, so I'm going to kind of visualize this for a moment. So I'm going to start over here, inner corner, and start to trace a line above, kind of following the wing. Depending on the look you're going for, you can meet the end up with the wing. I want it to just kind of mirror it above. So just lightly tracing that in, then going back into that shading brush and just ever so gently following the same line. I don't want to blend this too much, but I want to soften it up a little bit. going to adjust that inner corner, but for the moment, just do the other side. And again, once you have the basic shape, so I'm just very lightly brushing in the same direction. So I'm not blending up or down or out. Along. Okay, so that's close. Obviously, both eyes look a little bit different because they are different. But I have a Q-tip here. I want to just gently remove, see where's the wet end. Here we go. The inner corner. We'll go back in later on once we get this down. Hi, buddy. You okay? Oh my God. I love you so much. It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. God. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to bring in another blue shadow because the Blue Had Me at Hello palette it's beautiful and I'm definitely going to use it, but I also want one that's just blue. So I'm going to go into Azure in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Just because it's here, I have a ton of blue eyeshadows. It's kind of a problem. So taking that Azure color, and I'm just going to go over that line. And again, very gently. This time I'm going to blend up a little bit. I want this to turn into a little gradient effect. So this is the part that's going to be tedious and boring. You're just going to keep layering and blending. I do have to say I'm already happier with how this is turning out. So just be careful as you layer and blend. I'm going to blend up and not down. Thicken it up at the outer edge a little bit. So you see how the blue is much thinner on this inside corner than it is as it gets blended out. All right, so now just to deepen that up, I'm going into that final crease shade. So this is it's the bottom swatch right there. So it's a dark, dark blue, almost black, with lots of blue shimmer in it. So I think this will blend in really nice. It's very pigmented, so I tried to just very lightly tap my brush in. Oh yes. Just following that bottom end. And again, very, very lightly. Just softening that into the other shades. All right, so I want to clean this up just a little bit. So I have a Q-tip. One end is, well, not completely soaked, but it's been moistened. Oh, worst word ever. With some makeup remover, and then this side is dry. So I'm going to fix up this side. It's a little too straight down on the inner corner. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So this is one of the reasons, if you're wondering why I didn't put a another shadow underneath. That way we can clean up easier without having to worry about reapplying a shadow. Now I'm just going to go back into that angled brush and quickly redo this inner corner portion, trying to mirror the other side, which I'm very happy with. So just bringing it up. Yeah, there we go. Now they look a little bit more even. Gonna bring that all the way along just to re-intensify that up. All right, so now what? I want to clean up the eyeliner itself. So I'm actually gonna just go back in with the angled brush to clean up, you know how choppy this is. Now for the glitter over the eyeliner, you have a few options. Obviously, I mean, if you have loose glitter, that would be awesome. I don't for some reason. I need to get some. But I'm going to be using a glitter eyeliner, a liquid glitter eyeliner. I'm going to be using this. It's the Wet n Wild Halloween collection, Fantasy Makers. This is the glitter eyeliner in Blingin' It Black, Blingin' It Black. I just took the label off, and that's where the color is. Blingin' It Black. You could alternatively use a glittery black eyeshadow like this one in the Blue Had Me at Hello palette. Wet n Wild has a ton of black shimmery glittery shades. Lots of brands do. And just use either a setting spray or water, little on your brush, and then just kind of go over and just following the line. And hopefully this will also help to clean up. I actually really like this glitter liner. NYX has some really beautiful ones also, but they irritate my eyes. And this one doesn't. So now that that glitter is dry, I'm going to add in more. So I think I'm going to first go in with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Cottage Cheese. Worst name ever. Please rename this. It's so gross. I'm not a fan of cottage cheese anyway, so maybe that's why it grosses me out. I'm going to follow underneath the cut crease. Just brighten it up a little bit. Now, what would be really awesome, and I didn't think of until too late, is to line this with like rhinestones. I think that would look so badass, but I don't have that. So I'm gonna go in with another glitter liner. This is an e.l.f. glitter liner, which I actually also like. They don't irritate my eyes either. And this is in the shade Stardust. So it's just got a bunch of, let me shake it up a little bit, really pretty rainbowy sparkles. And I'm just going to follow the line underneath. Now, I'm not actually planning on putting false lashes on. So I am using the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara so that my lashes have more oomph. Now I'm going to move on to my skin and everything, and then come back and finish up the eyes. There is not going to be anything new or exciting. Going in with my Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation, NYX BB Cream. Just gently mixing that with a finger on the back of my hand. Dab it around. Real Technique sculpting brush. Blend that in. Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It's going under my eyes. Around my nose, which is a lost cause today, but for the sake of argument, and on any other bits of discoloration or redness. Blending all of that in with a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And I'm not going too crazy under the eyes just because I'm going to add makeup there, I think. Still haven't decided. Setting under my eyes with my Wet n Wild Coverall Powder. Real Techniques Setting Brush, right? Yes. And just kind of tap and dab. And then setting my whole face with the blush brush. Oh my god, I'm so happy with how this is turning out so far. Okay, so let's do a little color on the face. So I'm going to take my e.l.f. Bronze and Blush palette in St. Lucia, going into the bronzer side on that same blush brush, and just almost as if I was contouring with it, but I'm not contouring with it. Just kind of bringing it along underneath the cheekbone a little bit, just to warm up my skin. A little along the forehead, down the nose, on the chin. And then contouring as usual, NYX Powder Blush and Taupe, Real Techniques Cheek Brush. Okay, I'm going to go back to the eyes. Now you could totally keep this all on the top. I'm not. I'm going to bring it on down. So going back into my Physicians Formula Gel Cream Liner. Real Techniques Fine Liner Brush. And then bring this wing down along the lower lash line. I am going to line the waterline with it as well. If you wanted this to be a little bit more open, you could line the waterline with a flesh tone pencil instead of the black. But I like that slinky cat eye look. Oh, yes. Okay. Excellent decision, Emma. Good job. And I'm actually going to kind of follow the tear duct with that black liner and attempt to curve it down a little, and fail miserably in that attempt. That's not bad. You get the idea. I'm going to do another layer of mascara, both top and bottom. Okay, and to finish off, we're almost there, guys. To finish off the eyes, I just want to add a little something to the inner corner. So taking a Real Techniques accent brush, going back into the Blue Had Me at Hello palette, and going into this frosty white shade. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to dab that into the space on the tear duct and the inner corner. Now, I was originally going to smoke out this bottom lash line with some more blue, but I think I'm going to leave it alone. I like it how it is. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the glitter, the e.l.f. glitter that we used. I'm going to bring it underneath the outer corner, or the outer wing, and also a little bit into this inner corner. Okay, I am so happy with how this turned out. Let's finish up with a little color on the cheeks. I'm going to go into my Milani Powder Blush. in Romantic Rose, just to add a little bit of color on my Real Techniques contour brush. And then for highlight, going into the Butt Naked palette. And I'm going to use 2 highlights, I think. I'm first going to go in with the white highlight. A small tapered brush. Brush that over the cheekbones. I'm going to use a finger on the Cupid's bow. And that's really all I need to highlight. But I'm going to go into the gold shade and just layer that on top of the cheekbones. Just because why not? New Year's Eve. Why not glow and glitter? 2 crazy, unnecessary amounts. Now the obvious choice, I think, is to go in with a nude lipstick. This is the Fergie lipstick in Fergie Daily. I'm not going to line or anything. These are really great, just slap on and go lipsticks. I also want to add a gloss on top. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. And of course you could do, you know, a long-lasting, a matte liquid lipstick or something. I'd just as soon swipe it off. So I'm just using easy peasy lip products. They'll be easy to reapply if you want to touch up, and easy to remove if you wanted to remove them. So there you have the finished look. I am really pleased with how this came out. Obviously, you may need to adjust things for your own particular eye shape. This is the first time I've ever sort of successfully done a cut crease, so I'm very proud of myself. Yeah, there it is. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you have a really wonderful and safe New Year's Eve celebration. I will probably be in crazy makeup playing WoW in my pajamas. So I'm going to have a blast. I hope you have a blast, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.